Arrosticina in Zeranda, 3.000 euro al mese.
Today we're in Rome, Italy.
We're going to be travelling all around town to show you the best food Rome has to offer. Roman food culture is bold, delicious and steeped in history. This is our second video from Rome and we're here to hunt down the best Italian food. Watch out for traditional Roman dishes featuring horse and offal, modern Roman street food and loads more. In this 3-part series, we'll show you some of Rome's best food, from local restaurants that are off the beaten path to delicious street food. You don't want to miss this series. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
Food in Italy is really regional and we're so excited to share Roman cuisine with you. So Roman food is really well known for its punchy flavours. They love using seasonal ingredients and they really love nose to tail eating. We're starting our day of eating at Testaccio market and this place is filled with an array of fresh produce and a lot of ready to eat food as well. But we are here to hunt down something special. We're here for a famous braised meat sandwich. The most famous sandwich at this shop is called Alesso di Scotona and it is a braised beef sandwich. I'm holding it in my hot little hand and holy moly, it looks so good. So what he did was he just took a white roll and he sliced it in half and then he dipped one side of the roll in the meat juices. Now I can see that the meat was braised in tomato I think and there's celery in there and it is just falling apart. When he grabbed that chunk of beef out of the stewing juices, it just collapsed onto the chopping board at the prod of his knife. It was so tender. And then I also asked for him to add cicoria, which are braised bitter greens. There's a bit of chili cooked in with them, so they should add a really, or cut through, I suppose, the fattier meat. This shop is really famous because the owner used to be a butcher and he's using his old family recipes to create some meat dishes from offal and less popular cuts of meat. I've got to stop talking and just get eating. Oh my goodness. That braised beef just melts in your mouth. It is incredible. It is so tender and fatty. And that bun is really chewy. It's got a great texture. I want to eat this bite right here with that fattier meat and a whole ton of that cicoria or the bitter greens. Oh my goodness. It is so delicious. The meat just explodes with juice. It's got a really subtle flavour. You can taste the vegetables it's been cooked with, but it's really rich as well. The cicoria is perfect because it cuts through the fattiness of it. And that bread is sensational.
Rome is a beautiful city to travel around. We're covering quite a bit of ground in this video on public transport, but also on foot. It is stunning to walk around. Almost every building is just a picture postcard. Churches everywhere, ruins. It's a stunning place, but walking around makes you hungry, so we're going for our next snack now.
It's time for second breakfast. We've come to a famous bakery that is really well known for its maritozzi, which is a cream bun. We ordered our bun from the pastry shop next door, but what you can do is have a coffee with it. So you take your bun next door to the coffee shop and then order an espresso, and you can have your coffee and cream bun together.
This is a serious cream bun. Look at the amount of cream on top. So it's a plain sort of bun, a sweet bun, and then just absolutely piled with whipped cream. So a very simple breakfast snack, and I do love the concept that you can go to the bakery, which is right through this wall, and then come through to this little coffee shop, order a coffee, and put it with your cream bun. Oh my god. Wow. Look how thick the cream is. That's crazy. The cream is really, really soft, so it's super, super aerated. And it's got a beautiful flavour. It's really nice and sweet. Oh, so the bread is sweet as well. Not overboard though, but I think definitely sweet enough that the espresso will be good. Perfect combo. Beautiful bitter coffee cuts through the sweetness of the bun. That cream is incredible. It's so fluffy. And then the bread itself, it sort of tastes to me a bit like a panettone. It's got that same sort of fluffiness. It's really nice and aerated, just like the cream. So you've got a lot of lightness here actually. It's not as heavy as it looks. It looks like it's going to be just too much with that much cream. But it's not. It's really light. This is a really popular breakfast snack here in Rome. We went to the place that we got it because it's known to do one of the best ones in Rome. And the shop has been around since 1916, so they've been at it for a very long time. We love showing you the really traditional stuff on this channel, but we also don't mind something modern if it's incredibly good. This next stop that we're making is something that's taken Rome by storm. Now, in a city this old, you've got to consider something which is 10 years old, like what we're about to have, modern, because things are just so old here and places have been around so long. So this place has been around about 10 years. It's taken Rome by storm.
It's called a Trapizzino, and it's a type of pizza pocket. The Trapizzino is basically a pizza pocket, so it's a triangular shaped pizza bread, and they're putting fillings inside which are really classic Roman dishes. So we ordered two. We went with the chicken cacciatora, which is chicken cooked with herbs and spices and white wine, garlic, olive oil and whatnot, and then this here is the lingua, which is a cold dish of beef tongue, and it's mixed with a salsa verde, so lots of parsley, anchovies, garlic, capers to give it a really punchy kick. Alright, I'm going to start with the chicken because I've got it in my hot little hand, and it's also a hot filling. And you can see that the pizza bread is really, really crispy on the outside but soft on the inside, and it's really slowly leavened, so it's had time to rise. Okay, let's give this a taste. Holy moly, that is amazing. So the chicken has so much flavor. You can taste that rosemary. The chicken is really tender, and then the pizza bread. The bread here is just insanely good, and this is no exception. The outer is really crusty and crunchy, and the inside is really pillowy and soft. Oh man, so much flavor. It's just been braised and cooked for a really long time, so all of the flavors from those different ingredients have had time to sort of melt out into the dish. It's delicious.
I really love this concept of taking these really traditional dishes, which you'd normally get as a main in a restaurant, and turning them into this. It's really neat. So this one is the beef's tongue, which is sitting in salsa verde. So that's a green salsa with a lot of parsley, you can see, and there's anchovies and a lot of olive oil. The olive oil is glistening all over that, and I think a lot of garlic in there too. So I'm just going to push it all down actually. Look at that. Oh, it's so soft, that beef tongue. Oh yeah, tasty. Oh man, wow, the beef tongue is so soft. Tongue can be really tough. That is not at all. It's perfectly cooked. But look at this. This is the best bit. That salsa verde and all that olive oil, it's all run down into the pizza bread. So that beautiful soft inner layer of the bread is super squishy and wet with olive oil, but the outside so crispy that it hasn't soaked through. Oh man, the tongue, it's so tender. Oh wow, that is incredible. I've had the chicken one as well. The chicken's so tender and there's so much flavor. It's always a little bit funny, you know, with this sort of thing. I'm never quite sure, and I'm sure you guys have seen it too, where you see something, a modern take on something, and you think, oh, I don't know about that. This is incredible. It's so well put together, and it's great to get these traditional flavors in this incredible pizza bread. It's beautiful, it's so chewy, it's got a nice little tang, and the crunch on the outside is amazing. Meal times are often very defined here in Italy. So lunchtime means lunchtime. Often a restaurant will be open for lunch service, but then shut at 3 o'clock and be totally shut, like doors down, done for the afternoon. However, then they reopen for dinner.
We had to kill some time between our pizza pocket snack and dinner time, so we went and sat in St. Peter's Square and people watched a bit and cooled down because it's 36 degrees today here in Rome, so it's really hot. But now it's gone 8 o'clock. Dinner time's from usually 8 o'clock to 11 p.m. So we're here for dinner and we are going to be eating some traditional Roman dishes.
Buonasera.
Questo di Massimo. Ok, grazie.
With the walnuts.
This restaurant has a brilliant means of ordering. So there's no written menu, there's a human menu. So the waiter's come across, who sat down with us, and he's letting us know all the dishes that they have today, and we're ordering straight from him.
We've come to this restaurant because it's really popular with locals and they specialize in Cucina Romana, so Roman cuisine. So we ordered our first course and also our pasta course, and then the waiter said he'll come back later after we'd finished those 2 courses and see what else we felt like eating. So this is our first course and it is shredded horse meat sitting on a bunch of rocket or arugula with a lot of olive oil and then Parmigiano Reggiano over the top. So I'm just gonna grab myself a big pile of this. Look at that sheet of Parmigiano. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ooh. Now let's get into this horse. So it's really finely shredded. Ooh. That Parmigiano, really salty, it's got a real kick, and that horse is very salty as well. It tastes like sort of slightly gamey beef, and then that rocket is very peppery. It's a great combination.
Of course, to go with a meal like this, we had to order wine. So we've ordered the house white. So we've got a half-litre carafe of wine, and it goes perfectly with the food here in Italy. And we have got to the pasta course. This is an incredibly simple pasta, cacio pepe. And this is one of the 4 pastas that you'll always find here in Rome. So it's one of the 4 Roman classic pastas. So every menu will have this particular pasta on it. And it's really just cheese and pepper. And it's pecorino, a sheep's milk pecorino cheese, and look how incredible it looks. So we've got spaghetti, you can see all the cheese obviously, and you've got those big chunks of pepper all through there. So let's just free it up a little bit. Oh my god. Oh my god. the flavor is incredible. So the cheese is very sharp, very salty, and then you get a massive hit of pepper. So you basically get a salt and pepper combo working together and a super creaminess from all that cheese. Simple and incredible. Taking not many ingredients and just making something that tastes amazing. It is so good, and eating this way is super common here, so eating in courses. So this is the second course, the pasta course, and what we've actually got here is we've ordered one and they've split it for us, so we each have a half portion, so you don't need to order a massive pasta portion for yourself, which is really handy because there's more food to come.
Of choices for our next course. Heaps and heaps of meats that were available from the grill. There's a really fiery grill going out at the front of the restaurant, and then some traditional classic Roman dishes, as well as some deep fried things. Now, the Romans love their nose to tail eating, so there were lots to choose from when it came to offal. So let me talk you through what we've got. So this here is tripe alla romana, which is tripe cooked in tomato sauce with some mint and a ton of pecorino romano on the top. This, my friends, is bull's balls, so testicles. They've been deep fried. There's a bit of lemon on the side and some rocket. And then we've got some braised bitter greens cooked with garlic and drizzled with olive oil. I'm so excited to try this tripe dish. It comes from Quinto Quarto cuisine. Quinto Quarto translates to the fifth quarter, and it's sort of peasant, the peasant food. So when they had, back in the day, an animal, they broke it up into 4 quarters. So the prime cuts, the first quarter went to the nobility, second quarter went to the clergy, the third quarter went to the merchant class, and the fourth quarter went to the soldiers, and then the fifth quarter, the leftover bits, all the offal, the hearts, the livers, the feet, the tongues, the heads, went to the peasant class, the poor people. But nowadays in Rome, this dish is eaten because everyone just loves it. It's really hearty and supposed to be really tasty, so let's just give it a go. So tripe is beef stomach. Oh, that is good. The tripe is really tender. It's prepared to perfection. It just melts in your mouth. That tomato sauce is quite tangy, and then you've got that sharp kick from the pecorino.
Let's get some lemon all over these bull's testicles. So they've been crumbed and deep fried, and they look like they've been really nicely deep fried. They're super crispy. Oh, really meaty inside. Look at that. Oh, very well cooked. Not chewy at all. Really nice texture, super soft. Flavor-wise, not too strong. A lot of the flavor I'm getting is from the crumb and from the lemon actually. The meat is more just a great texture, so not too robust in the flavor state, not too strong. They were really good and really well cooked. I guess creamy would be a really good word for these. They're just such a nice soft, creamy texture. And this restaurant, I'm loving it. It's got such a buzz. So we came in at 8, we were in when the doors opened, but now it's about 10 o'clock and it is absolutely buzzing in here. It's packed with locals. Everyone's having a great time. And the menu is incredible. There was so much offal on offer. Intestines, hearts, testicles like that, the tripe. There was much more than that as well. There's so much on offer. This is a fantastic local restaurant.